Well, surprise, team builders. In a continued effort to just say, it, let's just release stuff randomly. We got the brand new 93 overall Team Builders in Hockey Ultimate Team with 4 new massive cards, literally, to take a look at and break down. Let's get into it. So first things first, our 4 93 overall players are Sammy Salo from the Vancouver Canucks, Larry Robinson from the Montreal Canadiens, Rick Nash from the Columbus Blue Jackets, and Jason Arnott from the New Jersey Devils, making sure they still check off the box for a mandatory New Jersey Devil team builder within every release. Let's start with the new number 1 center in the game. 6'5", 220-pound Jason Arnott, a right-handed centerman. He's got power forward and two-way forward, as well as checking, playmaking, and shooting boost. And finally, speed, agile dangler, and defensive boost. Obviously, you would want to go speed boost on this card. On top of that, he's got 94 speed with that activated, 92 acceleration and agility with 99 balance, which is massive because he's huge and very hard to knock off the puck. His shot is almost max. His hand stats are almost max. Body checking is 95, strength at 99, and then defensively he's got 99 faceoffs. On top of that, gold quick draw, meaning, again, you are not losing a faceoff if you know what you're doing and have this activated. The rest of his abilities, kind of mid, if I'm being honest, but there is a bonus in having a player that is so good that you can put on your first line, and you only need to use 6 ability points on him if you want to take full advantage of the card. I love the fact they gave him Big Tipper and Total Eclipse as well, just because I like tipping shots, but again, not necessary. Next up is our second forward in the release, the 6'4", 210 Rick Nash, a 93 overall, the left-handed winger. He's got power and sniper forward, as well as speed boost, agile dangler boost, and shooting boost, and then finally defensive checking and playmaking boost. Obviously, with speed boost activated, gets his speed up to 97. He's got 95 acceleration, 95 agility, 99 balance. This is an unbelievable card. With sniper forward activated, his wrist shots maxed out, his hand stats are maxed basically. The only thing that's mediocre is his defensive awareness, and he's playing wing, so you don't even really need it. Gold unstoppable force means that he won't lose the puck at all. Born leader, make it snappy. Edges on someone that's this big is, again, just a big bonus. And puck on a string. The only knock for me on Rick Nash, and again, we'll talk about that in just a little bit, is that Mike Modano's card is so good that the benefits aren't an extreme advantage, if you know what I mean, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. On to the defenseman. We've got the 93 Larry Robinson, 6'4", 225. First slot has two-way and offensive defenseman, as well as checking, playmaking, and shooting boost, and finally, agile dangler, accelerator, and defensive boost. So you can throw accelerator on there, get his acceleration up to 95, agility is 92, balance 93, endurance is 90, which is important now, and his speed is at 93. His shot is 90, so it's nothing crazy. Same with his hand stats, but defensively and body checking maxed out, which obviously is huge. Gold shutdown, silver truculence is perfect. Again, the only issue here is he is a very slight better version of Robin Regeer. And why that's important is that these cards are about 800,000 in value. When you trade in 290 overalls, they're going for about 3 to 400,000 coins. So you have to think about that when trading some of these in, because not everyone is going to have extra cards available to make all 4. You're going to have to make a 3 out of 4 selection. Nonetheless, still one of the best left-handed defensemen in the game. And then lastly, we've got the 93 Sammy Salo. And in my opinion, this is like a distant 4th. So, well, he's got good size at 6'3", 215, offensive and two-way, agile dangler, accelerator boost, and shooting boost, and then finally defensive checking and playmaking boost. It means that he can boost his accelerator and get his acceleration up to 96. His shot is perfect, which is good. Hand stats are in the low 90s, nothing crazy. And defensively as well, they're high enough where it's fine. The issue is that his abilities, silver quick pick is nice. Stick him up has been almost pointless. I've noticed it more and more that poachers just don't really do much unless you are on a very strong server connection, meaning under 10. So no truculence, no shutdown, just really hurts his value in my opinion. So he is a distant 4th for me. So let's talk creating these cards. Again, it follows the exact same format. You will need to trade in 2 of the 90 overall team builders to get 1 of the 93s. Now, obviously, there was 6 90 overall cards, meaning that you could only make 3. You are going to have to make 2 extra 90 overall cards to get all 4 of them, which is obviously very expensive. Now, again, to build all of these up, NHL cards are going for about 1,200 coins. And because a lot of people weren't prepared, myself included, and everyone drained their collection during Team of the Year, they're probably going to go up in price a little bit. It's going to cost you about 360 to 400,000 coins to make a 90 overall card, and then obviously you double that to get one of the new 93s. So let's talk about scenarios, because I know a lot of players had close to, if not all, of the 90 overalls, especially if you played since launch of the game. If you have all 6 and you are a no money spent player like myself, there is a difficult decision to make, and I'll walk you through what I'm going through personally and see if it pertains to you guys. Number 1, I would move on from Shanahan and Leclerc first. I think those are the ones that are expendable. They're pure wingers, and there are just so many wing options no matter what to make Jason Arnott. There is not many obtainable centerman cards that are this dominant. There is a lot of good centermen that either are slow or very small in size, but not all 3 in terms of skating, size, and face-off rating. There just isn't very many at all, especially with gold quick draw. So Shanahan and Leclerc, if you have all 6, 1000% go and make Jason Arnott. The next issue, like I mentioned earlier, is that Mike Modano's card is just so good. Like, when this came out, I think it just goes to show how dominant of a card it was, because when you compare him and Rick Nash, the only big difference is that Rick Nash can max out his shot. Other than that, I don't even have accelerator boost and speed boost activated on Mike Modano, and that gets him up to 97, which is what Rick Nash can get up to. Like, it's just so hard for me to justify spending Mike Modano into a set for Rick Nash, let's say. And again, each one of these 90 overall cards is 360,000 coins. So again, you be the judge if you think the upgrade from Modano to Rick Nash is worth 360,000 coins. So I'm keeping Mike Modano right now. The issue is on defense, where it becomes a mess. Because if you're not going to trade in Mike Modano, you're going to lose more than likely 2 starting defensemen. Now, if you don't have all 3 of the team builder cards in your lineup, then obviously you're at a big advantage here, because you could just trade in whatever one isn't in your lineup and one of Mitchell and Regier and go get Larry Robinson, for example. But much like Modano and Rick Nash, the differences between Adrian Aucoin and Sammy Salo are very small, not worth 360,000 coins. And I'd argue that with Silver Truculence, Adrian Aucoin is better than Sammy Salo. So that, again, doesn't make much sense to do. Which then leaves trading in Regier and Willie Mitchell for Larry Robinson, which I think is probably the play. Again, you're going to have to then get another defenseman to go into your lineup. And if you're struggling like me after Team of the Year, it's been pretty hard to get enough power-up collectibles to upgrade everyone. But that is probably the play. Regier and Mitchell for Larry Robinson, and then Brendan Shanahan and John Leclerc for Jason Arnott. Now, if you have Mike Modano and one other card, I would not trade them in just yet. I would slowly build and make either 1 more 90 overall so you can keep Modano, or 2 so that you can make Jason Arnott. Again, I just don't think there's a need to rush out right now and do this, especially if you are a no money spent player. So I hope this helps with your decision a little bit. I'll have a ranking and more feedback on all of these cards coming out very shortly, but this is just the initial surprise launch of the new team builders. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'm curious to see what you guys did in your situation. So again, let us know. Have a good one.